everybody! Welcome to our live Simplified Planner SET-UP Workshop. That's a mouthful. Tell me who you are and where you're from. We are so excited to get started. I have a very fancy new setup, which I will show you in a little bit. Ooh, Facebook Live is new now. It's doing all kinds of things at the bottom of my screen. So we have this fancy new setup with this big circle light thing right here. So hopefully you can see me well and you can hear me well. I have yet to find like an actual microphone that works. Let me know if anything's blurry or anything's weird. I can't promise you that this will be any more professional than the actual setup is, but we're gonna wing it. Okay, so our Simplified Planners start in just a few weeks. This is the one that I'm gonna be using. I am so excited to hear which one you have chosen. Tell us in the, it's not a chat window, tell us in the comments which one you have and which one you're working with. We've been sold out of weeklies for a long time and I'm so sorry, but we will have plenty more when we launch our calendar year editions in September. Those all run January through December of next year and they'll launch September 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And so if you don't have your academic planner yet, go run and grab it. You can get it at the link here somewhere on Facebook. It's emilylay.com. We do have dailies still available that you can grab. Okay, we're just gonna dive in. Here we go. My phone has been having lots of issues lately, like major issues. I'm trying to hold out until the new one comes out, so let me know if anything goes weird and we will fix it. Okay. All right, so to kick this off, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Using a planner in general can be intimidating, and I realize that, and that is why I decided to start doing this video. We're going to be doing these workshops for every planner release that we do. I realize it's very possible for you to set up your planner on your own. You're all very capable, but I think it's nice to have some time set aside to do it. And to do it with someone leading you, because if you don't do it, or if you don't do it correctly, or if you put it off, your planner's just going to sit on your shelf and it's not going to serve you at all. And I didn't make these planners for you to let them sit on your shelves at all, or for you to worry about not getting them messy or anything like that. So I want to talk to you about 3 myths that I know of when it comes to using a planner, any planner, but especially using our planner. You have to keep it neat and beautiful. That's the first myth. You do not have to keep your Simplified Planner neat. You do not even have to keep it beautiful. It will hold up to all sorts of things, but you can bang it around, you can use whiteout, you can scratch things out, you can start over, and the best part is every week or every day, depending on which one you have, is a fresh start. So you don't have to worry. If you mess up a day, you just move on to the next one. I don't know about any of you, but my days never look perfect. My schedule is insane, my to-do list is crazy, I never accomplish all that I set out to, and so no day is ever completed perfectly. So, toss that aside. I know a lot of you are like, I don't want to write in it, it's so pretty, the paper's so nice, I don't want to mess it up. You're not going to mess it up. Your handwriting, whatever it looks like on these pages, that's why we made it, and that's why you bought it. Second myth is that if you miss a day, so tell me how many of you have done this, you missed a day or you missed a week and you decide you have to quit. Like you have to put it on the shelf and forget about it, or you have to find something completely different because you failed, right? Not true. There have been plenty of days that I have missed in my own planner because it's just been a crazy day or I was out of town or whatever. It's always easy to just pick it right back up and start over. So I'm telling you all these things and all these myths so that you'll let yourself off the hook a little bit, okay? The third myth is that you have to have rules when it comes to your planner. So if you set up too many rules for your planner, you're probably not going to carry through on all of them because it's impossible to keep it perfect. I see a lot of really beautiful things on Instagram, especially with people's beautiful planners and their beautiful color coding and their great stickers and all things. And even I think, wow, I wish my handwriting looked like that. I wish my days looked that way. I wish I had time to color code that way or do whatever. You don't have to do it any specific way. There are no rules here. You can use it exactly as you see fit. And if that means that it changes day to day, that's totally fine, okay? So let yourself off the hook a little bit and remember that you bought this Simplified Planner so that you can make your life a little simpler, okay? Your life is still going to be complicated. Life is complicated. It doesn't get any easier. I work full-time and I have 3 kids and it's crazy. Life is complicated, but there are ways, and there are ways we can use our planner, and there are routines and systems that we can set up in our lives to make our lives simpler. So it's all about working smarter, not harder. So we are going to implement some things today in your planner so that you can really kick off this next year in a good start. Okay, so those are the myths. Now, the truths. Number 1 is you have to have one system for using your planner, okay? Now, maybe that's super complicated and you're gonna color code and you're gonna do stickers and you're gonna make it look awesome. That's great, that's your system. Maybe it's that you scribble things down whenever you can and you can't, actually keep like a very detailed thing going in your planner. You're just, scribbling down your to-dos every day. That's fine too. Keep one system. Don't try to switch from thing to thing. As we get moving, I'm going to tell you about my system that I've been using for a few years now that really, really, really works for me. And I will give you a spoiler and tell you it involves iCal. So I'll tell you all about that later. Number 2, you have to work your planner usage into your daily routine. If it's not part of your daily routine, you're not going to use it. And number 3, you have to look at your planner every morning, okay? So that kind of goes with number 2 as far as being part of your routine, but you have to work your planner into your morning routine so that every morning you're looking at it, you're checking in, you're making sure you know what's going on for the day, you've gotten a handle on your to-do list, you know what's for dinner, you know what's coming up, okay? So set yourself up for success every morning that way. I personally, I like to keep my planner on my desk, and I'm at my desk just about every day, even if for just a few minutes. And I come in here and I take a look at it and I make sure I know what's going on, and then I'm working in it throughout the day. I use the daily edition. I used the weekly edition when my twins were first born, and I didn't have as much of a detailed daily schedule. But the daily edition works great for me now because I have lots of appointments and calls and things to do during the day. And so that really works for me. Okay, so we are going to dive right in. My goal today, I took my watch off. My goal today is for us to wrap this up by 11. We may go a little bit over, but I want to wrap this up by 11 so that I can pick my little guys up from camp. And so that you guys can get on with your day. But the goal here is for you to leave this workshop with your planner mostly set up for you to use next year. We are going to work through some prep work. We're also going to talk about how to use both the weekly and the daily, and we're going to start putting some dates in our planners. So yeah, you should be able to do that. You should be able to at least, we're going to get about most of it done, and you're going to be able to run with it when we're done with this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a secret. Well, first of all, you got your homework, so I hope you all have your perpetual calendars where you've written out your people's birthdays and anniversaries and things like that on this perpetual calendar. If you don't have it, somebody on my team will post the link here. Thanks, y'all. And you can get it and you can print it out. It's a free printable. You can fold it in half and tuck it inside the pocket of your planner. This perpetual calendar is where you will write down any important days to you throughout the year that never change. Like my kids' birthdays never change. My anniversary never changes. All of those things you're going to write down on this perpetual calendar, and this is your checklist of dates you need in your planner every year. So once you fill this perpetual calendar out once, you'll be able to transfer it, from planner to planner and always make sure that everything is in it so you don't miss anything. And so the secret I've mentioned is that we are working on our next Simplified Planners. So these are planners that will release next spring. And we've added a couple of worksheets at the beginning. So there are 4 worksheets at the beginning of the next year's Simplified Planners. So this is 2018-19. Y'all, we work so far in advance, it is insane. Half the time when I write a check, I don't know what year it is. But these worksheets are what we are going to work through today. And I'm actually going to post a link later here in the event to these worksheets as a printable so that you can print them out. They will have printer's marks on them because this is actually from our next planners. So the first thing I want to talk to you about before we start writing anything down is looking back on last year. So I realize this is not January 1st. This is August 1st we're talking about. Actually, the planner starts on July 31st if you look at it. But considering August 1st as a fresh start, just like you would consider January 1st, what worked for you in the last 12 months? So this is interactive. If you want to get a lot out of this workshop, I need you to answer here in the comments and tell me what worked for you last year. What routines, what systems, what just little traditions worked well for you just to make your life run smoother, to make it a little simpler and a little less complicated. I will tell you, this is going to sound so little, but this is the point. These are the kind of things I want to hear from you. One of the things that really worked for our family was our morning routine. Last year, my husband, I would get Brady up and get him ready for school, and then as soon as he was ready, my husband would take over and take him to school. And that really worked for us. That, me getting him ready and being in charge of that part, and then Brian being in charge of the getting to school part, really, really worked for us. It gave me a couple of minutes after he was out the door to sit down and breathe and drink my coffee and read my devotional and that sort of thing before the twins woke up. So that's a little thing. It's just a logistic thing, but it really worked. And we even talked about this, we got a routine going here, this works. We know who's doing what, Okay. I'm reading some of your notes here. So Whitney Lewis says marking days as off days. Yes, I love that. I do the same thing. During the school year, I try to work 2 days a week. It doesn't always happen, but I try to work 2 days a week so that I can volunteer in my kids' classrooms and I can take care of my own, personal things, and I can write. A lot of those days I end up writing. And so that really worked well for me too. Okay, I love your notes. Color coding family members to make it visually easy to see who needed to be where when. That's great. And that's also part of this, finding a system that works for you thing. Who are you keeping track of in your planner? Is it just your day, or is it your entire family's calendar? Knowing that is really helpful. I use my Simplified Planner to keep track of me. So what I'm required to do, where I have to be. A lot of times that will look like take Brady to soccer or take the twins to camp or whatever. I'll put those things down so I know where I have to be on my daily page. So these things that worked last year, this is really, really, really good. Carrying my planner with me, writing in my classes at the beginning of the semester, grocery pickup. Christy, I am the most loyal shipped grocery delivery customer there is. I think I might be their best customer. We use Shipt because I don't know how to take 3 kids to the grocery store, especially 3 kids under 6. Okay, so those are the things that worked last year. And then what didn't work last year? So tell me some of the things that didn't work. Where did life get really hectic for you last year? These are those pain points that, where the day starts to unravel or where things start to get a little crazy. What didn't work? Were you overcommitted? Were there times in the day where things just started to go a little crazy? For us, and anyone with tiny children, you can probably relate, between the hours of 4 and 6 is when it gets crazy here. We call it witching hour. So that's our pain point. Our pain point is the early evening hours when I'm trying to get dinner ready and kids are getting a little antsy and my husband's coming home from work and whatever. That's a pain point for us. So that has been one of the things that we've tried to make sure that we can alleviate. Okay, meal planning at the end of my day was a big no-go. Yeah, that didn't work for me either. I have to plan a week ahead, if not more. My mom actually plans a month at a time. Which growing up I thought was crazy, but now I get it and I see why she does it. Okay, color coding by what type of event didn't work. Yeah, that sounds like over color coding to me. That I'm with you, I could get confused with that as well. End of the day before reviewing your planner, racking your brain. Well, that's a good thing, yeah. Make sure you're not racking your brain in the middle of the night. Okay, one thing that worked, waiting until Sunday to write in the next week was perfect. This is great. Okay guys, these are wonderful things. I just want you to write these down somewhere. Write them in the front of your planner, write them down on a piece of paper or wherever. Write down a couple of things that worked. Write down a couple of things that didn't work. This is an exercise I actually learned from my good friend Laura Casey, who makes the most amazing power sheets. They go great with your Simplified Planner. This is something that we have done as an exercise many times together. Just looking back and evaluating how things have gone and looking ahead and saying, what can I change? If you're looking for a really good goal setting tool, by the way, check out her power sheets. They're great. Can somebody post the link to those? I think they're sold out. But anyway, post the link there. All right. Okay, y'all, we're doing really good on time. So I want you guys to just think through these things, think through those pain points, and think about ways that you can alleviate them. I realize that this doesn't have anything to do with filling out your planner, and it's kind of overarching, but I feel like this is the heart work that has to be done before you put pen to paper. These are the things that we need to think through so that we can decide what we are going to commit to next year, what we aren't going to commit to, and kind of how we want to live our days. I just finished my second book, and I can't tell you about it yet, but I will soon. And I will tell you that I wrote something the other day, just as we were finishing it up, and it just went off to press. It comes out later this year. I wrote something about how I had to redefine my standard, and that happened for me around the time the Simplified Planner was born, and also the time, the idea of grace, not perfection, was born. And what that means to me is I used to hold myself to a standard of perfection, which you've heard me say a lot, and that meant perfectly clean house, perfect meals, perfect children, perfect hair, perfect, you get the drift. I was trying really hard to keep up, and as a designer and a former brand designer, I know what it means to try to keep up a certain appearance and an image. I know about crafting the right message and perfect visuals and all of that, and that easily bled into my personal life of trying to live up to that. Like, who is Emily Lay? I've said before, I don't want to be her today. I just want to be undone and unperfect. And over the last couple of years, I've really been able to embrace that, which has been just a lot of growth for me personally. But I had to sit down and say, like, what's the standard? What kind of life do we want to live? And I think it's important for us to do that exercise as we look forward to the next 12 months when starting a new planner. What life is it that you want to have next year? Now that we know what worked and what didn't work, what is it we're trying to accomplish? I wish I had it where I wrote this the other day, but anyway, I'll try to recite it to you off the top of my head. I wrote down that my standard was that I wanted to live a life that was slow and sweet and rich, and I wanted my kids to play in the dirt and chase lizards, and I wanted them to crave their mom's cooking. It's just so weird to say because I've never been a cook. I wanted them to... Dusty's dying behind the camera because she's actually an amazing cook. I want them to go out into the world and be like, I want to go home. I want a hug from my mom. My mom's cooking, and I want my work to be rich and speak volumes about the important stuff in life. So that's my standard, right? That standard has nothing to do with the shape of my countertops or what avocado is covering it at the actual moment. It has nothing to do with how perfectly my days are planned or how many times I make mistakes during the day. That standard is what every decision is built on for me. So if that's the standard, when I look at what I'm going to put in my planner and what I'm going to say no to and what I'm going to say yes to, that's the standard. So does it give me that life? Am I saying yes to this thing because I want to be perfect and keep up appearances or look great on Instagram? Or am I saying yes to this because I'm building that life that I want, that life that we want, my husband and I? So I encourage you to write down a statement for your year. It's not January 1st. No one's talking about your word for the year, but you can do that now. You can totally start. There's nothing, fantastically magical about January 1st. You can start right now with a fresh start. So write down your standard, write down what it is you're holding yourself to moving forward, and the life that you want to have come August 1st. I have to also say, I realize we are in the thick of summer, and many of you may not be thinking about school starting yet. We actually start school in 3.5 weeks, right? That's insane. And so I'm starting to get a little bit in that mindset, but think about this as a fresh start, even if you're not quite ready to let go of summer yet. I know a lot of us are probably a little overwhelmed with the chaos and craziness that summer brings, and whether you have kids or not, summertime is just, more relaxing, and a lot of people are off and on vacation. So think about what you want to start fresh with on August 1st. Okay. Next thing that we are going to work through, that I just want to talk about before we start diving into our planners is, we start August 10th. I see somebody talking about J. Crew. If you're asking about this top, it's Banana Republic, I think. Thanks. Okay. Now, thinking about today as a new beginning for you, or August 1st, taking into account what worked and what didn't work, what systems or routines would help your life run smoother over the next 12 months. How can we alleviate those pain points that we talked about and highlight the joyful ones? So here's just a quick example. Throwing a load of laundry in when I wake up in the morning. You guys, I don't care if you have kids, I don't care if you're married, this is life-changing. I used to spend Sundays literally under a mountain of laundry. And I don't want to spend my Sundays that way. Every morning when I wake up now, I put a load of laundry in. While I'm getting the kids ready and doing all the things in the morning, it runs. Most of the time I do it on speed cycle. It's 29 minutes. And then when that's over, throw it in the dryer, and some point during the day or when I'm done working or whatever, I'll fold it and I put it away immediately. So rinse and repeat the next day. And it just keeps it going. It's such a little thing, but those little things are what give you a simplified life, sincerely. So what are some ideas for some new routines for you? Tell me, I want to know what routines are working for some of you, and I want to know what some new routines are that you want to implement in August. So tell me in the comments. I can see them, sort of. I'm sorry I'm squinting. I need my glasses on. But tell me some of these routines that really work well for you. And it doesn't have to be like, here's how I get the mundane parts of life done, like laundry. Like, how do you reach that standard? Tell me the routines that really work. Do I have a housekeeper? You better believe it. We do. We have someone come every couple of weeks and help with the deep clean, but I'm doing the regular clean, the basic stuff daily. Getting a handle on grocery shopping, yes. That's a really big one. And one way I've been able to get a handle on that, obviously, is grocery delivery. But one big way, budget-wise, is making a list. Just having a list, not going to the grocery store blindly and searching for whatever I need, because I inevitably spend way too much money and come home and I'm still like, what's for dinner? Just getting a handle on that has been really, really good. The laundry thing, I see a lot of people are saying. A lot of the grocery stores, even Walmart, I know, has you can order it online and pick it up, and the markup is there. They do mark it up just a tiny bit, but it's not. I've saved more money from not walking the aisles and blindly grabbing things by using that sort of a service. Okay, organizing bathroom, kitchen cabinets. I know that's a hard one. Okay, a meal plan. Meal planning is a really, really big pain point for a lot of people. I totally get it. It's hard. My system and what I do is I sit down on Sundays and write it out for the week, and I write, my meals, my dinners here, and then over here I write a grocery list, take care of it on Sundays, chop all the things, and have it all ready and prepared. Meal subscription boxes, those are great. There are so many ways too, like budget-wise, that you can stretch things if you're planning it out right. I plan 1 to 2 leftover nights a week because we just inevitably end up having extra food. And in January of this year, I realized how much food we were throwing away, and it became a real goal for us to make sure that we did a better job at that. So in terms of routine for my planner, I want to tell you about how I use mine and the routine I mentioned earlier that involves iCal. So my planner sits most of the time on my desk or on the bar in my kitchen. It doesn't really sit on the bar much because my kids have reached bar height and they like to grab and cut and finger paint. So it sits on my desk most of the time, and I use iCal. So I have to use iCal. I have a team of 6 that are all remote, and we share calendars and project management system called Asana. It's wonderful. And I have to keep my schedule on there. So what I do is I put everything in iCal, and then on Sundays, I sync it. So I will sit down, if I get a new appointment or think of, something that has to get done. This is just calendaring, just scheduling. I put it in iCal so that everyone has access to it. And then on Sundays, I transfer it into my planner, and then I'm working out of my planner. If somebody needs to know that something changes, I'll update it in iCal. Otherwise, I'm just using my planner from Sunday until the next Sunday. So on Sundays, I plan out the meals for the week. I'm using the daily. I write down my entire schedule for the week. My husband and I touch base on Sunday just to make sure like we're all synced up in terms of who's going to be late one night or who's going to, whatever has to happen, and in terms of dinners. And then from there on out, I'm working through my Simplified Planner. The same thing would work with a weekly. You just, on Sunday, you can take everything out of iCal and put it in. So that routine has really worked well for me, and it's something I'm going to continue to do as the new year in August starts. Next, and lastly, before we really dive into the planner itself, ideas for new healthy habits. So, excuse me. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen a little bit about a health journey I've been on for the past year and a half. A year ago, I was diagnosed with 2 autoimmune diseases, Hashimoto's thyroiditis and Graves' disease, and these are both diseases of the thyroid. They're actually competing diseases, which is very strange. I wholeheartedly believe I brought them on myself with stress. They're also genetic, but it's a lot of stress over the past couple of years. So about a year and a half ago, I quite literally threw in the towel and said, I need to make a very large change in my life that's going to consist of lots of little health changes to just be a healthier person in general. I was skipping both breakfast and lunch a lot of times, drinking coffee for breakfast, skipping lunch, being starving at dinner, and then by 10 o'clock, all I want is like an entire box of goldfish. So I've stopped doing that. My healthier habits I've been doing these, but I'm going to continue to do with the New Year starts, are eating 3 meals a day that are healthy and full of protein, lots of veggies. I'm not paleo or vegan or gluten-free or dairy-free or any of that. I just try to make healthy choices. I don't deal well with extremes, and so I just have found something that really works for me. I love 100 Days of Real Food. It's a blog, and she has 2 cookbooks that have really inspired me to get cooking a lot more. My kids love all her recipes as well. They're easy. It's all whole foods, nothing processed. We do eat dairy, we do eat gluten, we do eat all those things. But we've just tried to be really smart about the choices we make. So lots of fruits and veggies, lots of lean meat. And that has been a life-changing healthy habit. Exercising most days of the week has also been life-changing. If there's one healthy habit I've implemented that's been life-changing, it's been that one. I've started weight training, and it quite literally has changed my life. Like, I have never felt more energy or felt stronger both at heart and physically. So that's another healthy habit. But tell me some of your healthy habits that you are implementing. I think this is really important, and I almost didn't put this in here because I felt like it was another conversation outside of planners and, you know, a fresh start and all that. But to me, it's actually quite possibly the most important part. So how are you taking care of yourself, and what are you vowing to do with this fresh start to take care of yourself? I will tell you that if I could leave you with one lesson through any of these Facebook Lives, through any of my books or anything I have to say, it is this. It's about shoes. If you are organizing a shoe closet and you are trying to figure out why your shoe closet is so messy, why it's so stressful, why your shoe basket has just so much going on and you can't get a handle on it, it's stressing you out, and you buy a really fancy organizational tool to like hang them the right way or display them the right way or fit them all in, your problem is not your lack of organizational solution. Your problem is that you have 37 pairs of shoes. So in looking at your fresh start, I want you to look at what you can say no to, what you can get rid of, and what you can quit. And I mean that because you don't have to be everything. You are absolutely enough just as you are, and you don't have to be so overcommitted, overwhelmed, and overworked. You just don't, at all. I don't care your situation. I don't care whether you're married, whether you have kids, whether you don't, whether you work full-time or you work part-time or whatever. You don't have to live life with your hair on fire. And that has been my biggest life lesson, maybe ever. I lived a lot of my life with my hair on fire, and I created the Simplified Planner because I was tired of feeling like I was never enough, never measuring up, and never just never what I wanted. Life just didn't look like what I wanted it to. So redefining that standard, letting myself off the hook, and uncommitting to a lot of things. There was a lot of unraveling that went on in my life to get to a place where I could live that life that was sweet and slow and rich and flawed. But you have to say no, and you have to give yourself permission to say no. So I encourage you in looking forward to both create some routines that really work for you, implement systems that are smart, that save you time, that are all about working smarter, not harder, and to create some new healthy habits for yourself, and also to quit some stuff. Say no. You don't have to. About 7 months ago, I said no to 795 retailers. We were in almost 800 stores around the world, and we cut that program down to 5. Why? Well, it was a giant revenue cut for us. It was a really big line off my fancy bio. Didn't get to say we were carried in 800 stores anymore. But it gave me my life back. I didn't have to travel on 48 airplanes this year. I didn't have to go to tons and tons of markets. I didn't have to feel like I was abandoning a little bit why I started this, which is connect with you guys and really help you just person to person and inspire you with these tools that we create. So I quit. I just said no, and I disappointed a lot of people and had some tough conversations, and it was the best change for our company and the best change for my life. So don't be afraid to say no, to quit. Okay, so those are the little worksheets that I am going to post for you. We worked through new routines, new healthy habits. I'm also going to give you a sheet to help you work through a morning routine and an evening routine. Again, these are going to have print marks on it. You can actually cut them out if you want. They're going to be the size of the page in your planner, so you can paperclip them in or whatever. So you're going to write down your morning routine and your evening routine. I do this, and it's really helpful just to make sure you check off all the boxes and get the things done. And then you're going to walk through creating routines for weekly tasks and chores. So you'll see you just have every day of the week right here. Okay. All right. How are we feeling? We're doing good. It's 10:33. We're going to wrap this up before 11, and you guys are going to be good to go. So my planner, let me grab mine from last year. Please hold. All right. Last year, this year. Y'all, have you seen the pineapple? It's so pretty. Okay. I want you to flip in your planner to page, well, they don't have page numbers. Flip a little bit into the page that says the process of simplifying. So this is a lot of what we've just talked about. The process of simplifying is 4 steps. Name what matters. That's that standard that we just talked about. Are there things in your life that you are absolutely 100% going to protect and want to do? Like, unapologetically, I have to do this during my day or during my week. Name those things. Eliminate distractions, establish routines, and choose what matters. So name what matters and then choose it. So actively choosing it when you make decisions. Okay, next, on the next page, we have a couple of steps for you to work through as you dive in. The first one is do your prep work. That's kind of what we've been doing here. So after this workshop, take some time to walk through those worksheets we're going to post to you and think through what's most important to you. Why do you need a clean slate? What does this fresh start mean to you? And then schedule weekly time for those things first. So I would make a note here on this page of some self-care time or some downtime that you're going to have for yourself. For me, it's every night after my kids go to bed, I give myself like 30 minutes to an hour to just chill. Like nobody talking to me, no work, no email, no Instagram, no nothing, just relaxing, unwinding. And then after that, my husband and I come together and watch TV or whatever. But that time like alone is really, really helpful for me. Also, on Sundays, I need time to plan out for the week, so I give myself that time too. All right, next, add birthdays and anniversaries. So here's the nitty-gritty. Here's where we are going to start writing in your planner. We did a video on pens that we love. If you want, you can go back and look at it. That thing has had a zillion views. Like, I think it says that, 1 zillion views. It's amazing to me. You guys love your pens. My favorite pen is the V5 from Pilot. It's in in a box over there, or I would show it to you. I used Le Pen's for a really long time, but I really like that one. It's a little bit thinner. You can also, I used pencil for a long time because I was afraid of messing up my planner and I would erase it. Whatever. Our paper is Mohawk via vellum. It's incredible. It's the best planner paper out there. So you can feel free to erase or do whatever you need to there. Okay, so you have your perpetual calendar. I'm going to walk you through how to do this in a daily, but it applies to the weekly too, so just know that. Let's take, for example, my son's birthday, Brady. So a lot of people have asked me, okay, you have a monthly overview and then you have your days. So where do I put the birthday? Do I put it on the monthly and the daily? Do I put it just on the monthly? I don't keep track of that on the daily. And to me, the answer is both. You put it everywhere because you're going to look at both. I use my monthly spreads for overarching things, right? So I use them for big picture stuff. I have an example. Yeah, here's an example. So this is the weekly spread of my new one. This is, oh, this is not mine. This is not mine. Is there another pineapple over there? This is our example one. So here's the monthly spread. You can see we have big picture things. They're a little bit loosely color-coded. Big picture things like birthdays, Mother's Day, this is May, soccer games, and that kind of stuff. So oh, that must be mine. Thanks. Thank you. So you're going to keep track, I need like a table. Let's just do this. So you're going to keep track of big picture stuff. This is your overview. This is your at a glance. You just check this and see what you need to do and where you need to be, okay? You would keep vacations and things like that on there as well. Here's another one. Can you see it okay? Okay. Now, your daily page is where you keep your nitty-gritty. Like, here's where I gotta be, here's where I gotta go, here's what I need to do, here's what's for dinner. That's all you gotta keep on there. So what you're gonna do in your new planner, you're gonna write down, okay, so for instance, Brady's birthday is February 16th. I'm gonna write down Brady's birthday, February 16th, on the monthly, and then Brady's birthday on the daily page. Now, where do you write it? I know some of you are sad we took quotes out. I hear you. I know you're sad. But it is good. And the reason we did it is because we really took a good look at this page and we said we want this page, everything about it, to be simplified. We're not going to put things on this page just because it's status quo or we've been doing it forever or everyone else does it or whatever. And we were putting the quotes on there because we liked the inspiration, but to me it was almost distracting. Like, why? I don't know, like, it was like someone else had written on my paper. And so we took them out, and up here is your new headline space. So this is where you put the most important fact of the day. So if it's a holiday, it'll already be written on here. But if it's an important day to you, you can write it up here. See, like I have Brian's birthday. This is not actually Brian's birthday, but you have Brian's birthday written up in the headline space. So take your first three, I want you to just take your first three important days or dates from your perpetual calendar and go ahead and write them down. Do not worry about your handwriting, no one cares. You can scratch it off. The only person that's going to see your planner is you. You don't have to post it to Instagram. So go ahead and write 3 of those down, and when you have done it, tell me in the comments, okay? Because I want you to at least get a little bit of this done before we get off of the workshop so that you can really complete the whole thing today. Okay, if you are working in a weekly, you would put, do we have a weekly that's open? Hang on guys, 1 second. No, just grab my keys. Whoa, sorry, y'all, real life. Okay, I don't think they're here yet. Y'all, I see some of the most professional Facebook Lives ever. And I'm like, we don't do it that way. Brady's probably going to run here in a swimsuit here in a minute. Okay, so here's your weekly edition. Can we all just look at the weekly for a second? It's so good. Are you taking Chipotle orders? Sweet. We're eating Chipotle for lunch. All right. So on the weekly, you would obviously write it in on the monthly spread. And then you would write it in the head. So you have headline space here too. And it's right across from the date. Okay? There you go. Headline space here, headline space here, headline space here. I I was so nervous to take the quotes out, like super nervous. I thought we were gonna have major backlash, but it's amazing to me. So many of you have been like, this is awesome. I feel like I have more room. It's more simplified layout. I really, really like it. So thumbs up. If you've done it, give me an emoji down here, or a check, or a did it. High fives. Yeah, Chipotle. Somebody's talking about it. Okay, so how do we incorporate the flag stickers? So I incorporate the flag stickers on my daily. I don't do this for everything, but I do it when I think about it. I incorporate them as markers in the headline space. So they fit perfectly right here. I think our flag stickers are running low, by the way, in inventory. So if you want them, go buy them. So I put them up here. And like, total disclosure, I don't always color code my day this way. I don't always have time, but if I do have time, I'll do it because it's nice to just kind of see like everything. So yeah, that's how I keep track of those. Yay. And fun stickers for birthdays are fun too. I really love that idea. Obviously, you guys have your stickers here. We are making sets of these stickers, so you will in the future, probably later this fall, be able to buy sticker packs of these adorable stickers. They are hand-drawn by our very own Whitney Hawkins. All right. How's everybody doing? We're doing good? We've gotten a couple of dates written down. Feeling good? Got them on the monthly, got them on the daily. Remember, the monthly is where you're going to put the important stuff, the big overarching view, like at a glance, what's going on. And then, and where would you put the stickers? You can put them anywhere you want. Anywhere. Okay. Now, go look at one of those days, and are there any days you need to buy a gift for? It's a birthday, or you need to send a card, or you need to send a text, or you need to do something for it. I want you to write that task down. If it's like my son's birthday, for example, I know probably 2 months in advance I need to start thinking about a birthday party. So 2 months in advance, I'm going to go choose a random weekday, and I'm going to write down, start thinking about Brady's birthday party. Okay? These are the kind of reminders that free up brain space in your head, and it is one of the most valuable things ever, brain space. So margin, that we all call it, having margin in your day is important, but also having margin in your brain is great. So I don't have to remember, buy mom a birthday card or present or whatever. I can put that 2 weeks in advance, and it's written down. It's there. Okay? All right. Okay, somebody is saying that they love stickers, but they're regretting using a zillion of the stickers. Yeah, I'm with you. If stickers aren't your jam, don't do it. You keep your planner exactly how you want to keep it. Use stickers, don't use stickers, use pens, use pencils. You do you. Okay, so we've done that. You guys are good with putting dates in. Congratulations, you've written in your planner. It's officially okay to get it messy. All right. Now, this is the third step on this page now, adding the reminders. So, for instance, at the end of January, you might want to go in and write, gather information to file taxes, right? Or 2 weeks before mom's birthday, you might want to write, shop for mom's birthday gift. So, when we get off of this little workshop thing, I want you to work through these steps, okay? Take the time today to do this. Add the birthdays and anniversaries, write your family and friends' birthdays and whatever important days on the appropriate day. And then go in and add reminders. Give yourself time to really think through this. What are some things that you need to be reminded of throughout the year that just give you some extra brain space? Like in January of next year, I know I need to think about school registration. Okay, so I'm going to go write that down on a random weekday, and it's there. I don't even have to worry about it. It's there. I will be reminded because I look at my planner every day. Built that routine in. And lastly, make time and get this thing messy. So this is moving into your yearly bucket list. This is the last little activity we're going to do together before I answer a bunch of questions. Make time and get messy. Make time for what matters. At the end of this year, what will you wish you had spent time doing? Like, think of yourself 12 months from now, next July, your summer is almost over, and you are looking at another year coming up, and you're thinking, man, I'm really glad I did that. I'm really glad I made time for that. I'm really glad that I made time to tuck my kids in every single night because I wasn't super stressed out in the evening. I made time to do that beach vacation or have that family staycation at our house. We made time to go camping. I made time to read a book or 12 books or whatever. I can tell you some good books to read. One's topic. You made time for what? What are the things you made time for? Those are the things that you're going to write down on our last little page we're going to talk about, and that is your yearly bucket list. I love this. Here are some examples written down here on this bucket list. Water slide. Go down a water slide somewhere. Read 6 books. I think I've already accomplished this one. Go backyard camping. I'm going to leave that one up to Dad. Hey, Hannah, do you mind giving him my keys? That guy right there? Thanks. Sorry. I think they're right there. Okay, cook more often. I'm doing that one, which is great. Plan a trip to visit family. Did that one. Go to the beach. Make a family yearbook. This is something we do every year through Artifact Uprising. And teach Tyler and Caroline to ride bikes. So we have little strider bikes for the twins that we're trying to teach them how to ride. So those are just a few things I've written down on my bucket list that this time next year I want to be like, I did it. So a couple of other things I'll add to that I'm just thinking off the top of my head about. I will release my second book. I'll turn 35. Oh my God. I don't know, I think I would really love to see get my health under control even more. What else? I would love to consistently work 2 days a week so that I can spend the other 3 with my little ones. The bucket list is located right before, thanks Hannah, it's located right before the first tab. So if you find the first tab, it's like right before it. So I want you guys to just write 3 things down on your bucket list, okay? This might be an exercise you want to do with a loved one or someone, your significant other. But it's also something you're going to want to do personally. So write down 3 things that are really important to you. And yeah, that bucket list is really special and important. Now, once you've written those things down, I want you to put them in your planner. Like, read 6 books. Okay, I'm going to go in every other month on my monthly to-do list. There's a little notes section on the side of the month, and I'm going to write down 6 books, like actual book titles that I want to read. Or you can just put down book 1, book 2, book 3. For example, the beach vacation. When we did this, we did this in January too. I get a new planner every 6 months. Perks of the job. When we did this in January, we wrote down beach vacation, and we actually planned out our beach vacation, booked it, and all that, and we went a couple weeks ago. So you can't just have a bucket list to have a bucket list. You have to put them in your planner. Write them down so that you make sure that you do it. Okay? Are we all feeling good? You are fully ready for August 1st. It's always funny to do this in August because January seems like such a profound date, January 1st, but August 1st is equally a fresh start. I mean, it's going to bring a lot of structure to my life when August rolls around because my little ones will be at school and the babies go to a little half-day church thing, and it's great. So, but I will miss the chaos of summer a little bit. It's been a lot of fun. All right. So, questions. We have about, I can probably do like 20 more minutes-ish or so. Will you let him know that we have to leave by 11:45? Yeah. Thanks. Sorry. Okay. Got questions? Yeah. Okay. Dusty's going to read. I'm going to drink some coffee. Dusty's going to read some questions. Okay. Do I carry my planner everywhere, or does it stay on my desk? It stays on my desk. Because I use iCal the way that I do, if I have an appointment that comes up while I'm out and about, I put it in my phone. Now, if I'm traveling for work, or I'm going somewhere for a long day, or for something like that, I will take it with me, and it holds up great. I have a big purse, it holds up just fine in there. Hey.
Do you have a worksheet for your meal planning that you use?
Do I have a worksheet for meal planning that I use? No. The Simplified Planner, both the daily and the weekly, has space for dinner. I just write my meals down there, but a lot of times, hang on, I'll show you. This is a product we've not yet released, so pretend like you never saw it. I use, these are our legal pads. We have a that's not a kiddo, is it? Oh, okay, sorry, thought we were kids. This is our Dapper Desk legal pad. It's navy blue at the top. This one is pink. We're trying to get these made right now. We haven't put them into production yet. But anyways, I have the sample. I use this a lot, and I'll write down like the days and then my grocery list over here because it has the list. Also, our home base binder has meal planning sheets in there. It has enough for an entire year, and it's set up exactly like this. And so you can do your days of the week over here, and then you put your grocery list. So I typically plan out dinner only because I pretty much, my kids and I eat the same thing every day for breakfast and lunch. I need an avocado tree. Okay, next.
Okay, can you do a Facebook Live about the recipe binder and meal planning?
Oh, can you do a Facebook Live about the recipe binder and meal planning? Yes. We actually have plans later this year to do a whole series of Facebook Lives about organizing lots of different parts of life, including meal planning. So maybe we'll do one on meal planning, one on simplifying your space, like your home, simplifying your closet. Wink, wink. We got stuff up our sleeves. So, yes.
Do you keep a separate to-do list?
Do you keep a separate to-do list? No, I don't. I just use my planner because if I kept separate to-do lists, my life would not be simple. The simpler, the better.
Any plans to sell skinny washi tape for the monthly, and what do you use to write on your washi?
Any plans to sell thin washi tape, and what do we use to write on washi tape? No plans to sell thin washi tape at this point. It's kind of a fun idea though. And what do I use to write on it? I use a thin Sharpie to write on washi tape. I don't really know if any other kind of pens stick, so I just either don't write on it or I use a thin Sharpie. Yeah.
Do you use iCal for your whole family?
Do you use iCal for your whole family? I use iCal I use it for just myself, and then my kids' stuff I write down in the planner, like if they have soccer practice or soccer game. Well, no, I take that back. I have Brady's soccer practice in iCal. So yeah, everything's in iCal. And then every week I'm transferring it in.
Do you have a large calendar that you use for the whole family to look at?
Do you have a large calendar that you use for the whole family to look at? Yes, I do. It is another room where I would bring it here and show it to you. It's a whiteboard that I got at Target, and it's just a monthly calendar, and it lives in the middle of my living room, and it's just like the overview of the month. So it's like who's going where, when, if we're going on vacation. It's just like the monthly view in the planner. It's the same thing.
What's the project management program you use with your team?
What's the project management tool we use with our team? It's called Asana, A-S-A-N-A, and it is a lifesaver. We're all remote, so no one works here. This is my house. No one works here with me. Everyone works from home and lives all over the country, and so we use Asana to have conversations about things, keep to-do lists, track projects and things that we're working on. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
Would you consider making a detachable bookmark with grace and perfection on it?
Would you consider making a detachable bookmark with grace and perfection on it? I hadn't thought of it. It's kind of a fun idea though. Yay, that's it. We're good. Okay. Anybody else got any questions? All right. How do you write out how long something is? Sorry, I'm squinting. For instance, some days I work for 8 hours and other days I work for 5 to 6 hours. I like to see my start and end times for each day and know when I'm done with work. That's a great question. So I write an arrow if it's a long thing. You just write like work arrow to where it is. I do that on my monthly too, monthly view, like vacation arrow, cross through the days until it's over. Okay. Any plans to make an address book and a budget book? Yes, we're making an address book. It's a delay. You're fine. Yeah, we're making an address book. Not really a budgeting book, but.
What do you use the washi tape for?
Oh, what do we use the washi tape for? Let me show you. So, I use the washi tape for things like this. Let me see if I can fold this over and show you. This is written with a Sharpie. So you just mark out these days. It just color codes it so that at a glance you're like, oh, all right. Yay. So that was like vacation.
Will the replay be
Available? Yeah. So will the replay be available? Yes. We are going to leave this replay up on Facebook, and we'll also post this onto YouTube for anyone to come and watch later. Oh, what's the address book ETA? Our address book will probably not be out until next spring because we're totally revamping it. So yeah, it'll probably be a bit. What would you carry a planner in to keep it safe in a purse or backpack? I just put mine right into my bag. We have some stretchy bands. Are we sold out of stretchy bands? I think we were sold out. No, maybe. There might be a couple stretchy bands left. But our stretchy bands go right around the planner, and a lot of times I'll just, if I'm taking it with me, I'll use that to keep it shut so it doesn't come open and wrinkle pages. But yeah, but it does not fit the weekly. The weekly is too small for the stretchy band, so the stretchy band fits the daily edition. How long is my morning routine? Oh, not very long because I don't have much time. In my morning routine, I mean, in having like all this structure and all these routines and all of these, you know, systems in your life, you have to like wrap it in grace and flexibility because it's never going to look the same day to day. And for that reason, I write down my routines. Like if you go in my bathroom right now, there's a post-it with the word protein spelled wrong. It bothers me every day. I need to like press it out and spell it right. But I have a list of like my checklist. At the end of the day, I want to say like I took my vitamins, I exercised, I drank a lot of water, which is really hard for me. What, you know, all of my checklist, there's like 8 things on it that I just want to have done before I go to bed. Put my Invisalign in. I always forget that too. And then morning routine, I don't know. I mean, 20 minutes tops. I mean, not today because I straighten my hair for you, but usually I wear my hair up and I'm probably in workout clothes because I'm trying to get some exercise every day. So it doesn't take me very long at all. Yay!
The printable links you were talking about.
Yes, the printable links for the printables that are going to be in future planners. These worksheets, by the way, will not be in the ones released in September. This is like super far away that we're giving you guys early. I'm going to post them here in the caption of this Facebook Live so that you will have them. And I'll do that in like 10 minutes. Okay? That's it. We're good. Thanks, guys. This was super fun. We officially did this in 1 hour. Are there any, thank you about my hair. Are there any questions at all that I missed? Any plans for a teacher planner? No. I feel like I'm not the right person to make a teacher planner because I'm not a teacher. So we love CJ Teach. Her name's Chandra Verbeck, and she makes one called the Teacher Anchor, and it is wonderful. Just Google that, Teacher Anchor. Okay, I just saw someone ask, and I love this question. Does anyone buy all the birthday cards needed for the year at once? So I don't do that, but I do go and buy like generic cards that can be used for anything, and I just keep them on hand. And like if I see a cute birthday card and I don't have a birthday to give it to someone, I'll keep it. And I just have in fact, I'll show you. I just have a stack of that at my desk. So this is like two random Father's Day cards. I just keep it on my desk for, you know, whatever. That one was from Rifle, in case you're wondering. Okay, all right. Yay, y'all, this was fun. If you have any additional questions, please post them, and I will try to come back in and answer them a bit later. But congratulations on your fresh start. August 1st is right around the corner. Go and get started on all those things. This entire list, like what we've walked through, is actually in your planner. So go and look at the process of getting it set up if you need a little reminder on what to do. And I hope you all have an amazing year. If you are looking for your coaching emails that we have, that we mentioned back when we first started selling these editions, you're gonna receive your first coaching email a couple of weeks. I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks or so after you purchase. We've got them all written and they're automated. So I've written out this amazing like coaching thing, and it's automated based on when you bought your planner. So you're gonna start receiving it. Make sure that Emily@emilylay.com and hello@emilylay.com are in your address book. That's like my actual email address. Make sure that it's in your address book in your email system so it doesn't go to spam. And if you don't get it and you haven't seen it, check your spam because email's weird and that kind of thing happens. So I hope you guys enjoy them and have a great rest of your day. Bye.